Hello, my lovely students. Welcome back to the English class with Mrs. Kurtuluş. We are on page 105, okay? You can open page 105 on your student's book, and we will have reading part about happy teenagers. And you will read the introduction to the internet forum, and you will answer the question about this article. And let's start with happy teenagers. Okay, let's listen.
Unit 8. Reading. Happy teenagers? In 2013, UNICEF wanted to find out if children and teenagers in rich countries are happy. They discovered that youngsters in the Netherlands are top for general well-being. Then come 4 Nordic countries. Out of 29 countries, the UK was only 16th, and the US 26th. Jake, 23.
I don't care if Dutch children are happier than British kids, or if American teenagers are sadder than Swedish teenagers. What about all the young people who live in poorer countries? That's what we should be worried about. In richer countries, kids feel bad if their mobile phone is older than their friends. It's easy to forget that a lot of kids in the world haven't got any modern gadgets. In fact, maybe they haven't got a school to go to or clean water to drink. I think it's more important to think about those kids than the lucky ones who have everything.
June 8.
We usually think that the US and the UK are super rich countries, but there are a lot of very poor families there as well as rich ones, and education isn't always better there. The results in tests were worse in the US and in the UK than a lot of other countries like Switzerland and Poland, and some kids are more unhealthy in the US than in other poorer countries. Reports like this are useful because they show that things aren't always what they seem.
Marion, 11.
I'm 15 and I'm from the Netherlands. It's true that we're generally very happy here. Family is really important. I find it easy to speak to my parents. In my opinion, that's more important than money if you want to be happy. My mom and dad are quite relaxed about what I do, and at school we don't feel particularly stressed. Maybe one problem is that in the UK and the US, television and newspapers make kids feel disappointed because their lives aren't perfect. But here we're more positive about life.
Luke, 52.
Being a British teenager, I find this quite strange. I think that young people here are healthier now than in the past. We learn in school about the importance of exercise, eating well, the dangers of smoking and all of that. And at school I know my teachers care and want to help me. My relationship with my parents is good too. Maybe things could be better here in the UK, but they could also be a lot worse. I think the report is fine, but then newspapers make the results sound so negative. The reality is different.
Yes, my lovely students. Now we will go on with the questions about this text. Okay. And we won't do the first and second exercise. And we will do the second one. Okay, look at here. Read the form messages again. Who says what? We will read the statements and we will decide, and you will write next to the sentences, next to the statements, who says that statement. Not everything is bad in their country. Who says this statement? And we can say Luke 52 says the first statement, okay. Maybe things could be better here in the UK, but they could also be a lot worse. Okay. Now we will go on with the second one. There are important basic problems in the UK and the US. Remember, in which article was that statement? And we can say that it's in June 8th. Okay. The second statement belongs to June 8th. And we remember that education isn't always better there, and the results in the test were worse in the US and the UK, and some kids are more healthy in the US. And the fourth statement, they aren't interested in the report. Who says that? And I'm sorry, I missed the fourth one. Third one. We will go on with the third one. Okay, sorry. Journalists are perhaps responsible for some teenagers being sad or unhappy. And this statement belongs to Marion 11. Yes, Marion 11. Maybe one problem is that in the UK and the US, television and newspapers make kids feel disappointed because their lives are imperfect. Okay. And we will go on with the fourth one now. They are interested in the report. Who says that statement? They aren't. Yes, Jake 23. The fourth statement was said by Jake 23, and he said, I don't care if Dutch children are happier than the British kids, or if American teenagers are sadder than Swedish teenagers. Okay. And now we will go on with the fifth one. The report makes it clear that we have the wrong idea about some countries. And this statement belongs to June 8th. We usually think that the US and the UK are super rich countries. Reports like this are useful because they show that things aren't always what they seem. Okay. Now we will go on with the sixth statement. They agree with the conclusion of the report because of their personal experience. Who says this sentence? We can send Marion 11 said it. Okay. I'm 15. I'm from Netherlands. It's true that we are generally very happy here. And we will go on with the seventh one. Some teenagers worry about things that have no real importance. And the seventh statement belongs to Jake 23. In richer countries, kids feel bad if their mobile phone is older than their friends. Okay. And the last statement, other people are making things sound worse than they are. Next to this statement, you can write Luke 52. Okay. I think the report is fine, he said, but then newspapers make the results sound so negative. Yes. That was the last one. And we can go with the critical thinking. Okay. Write one or two sentences to summarize what each person thinks about question of teenage happiness in different countries. Are they giving facts or opinions? Okay, I can do it instead of you, and you can think about it because that's critical thinking. For example, Jake 23 thinks that we should be worried about young people in poorer countries instead of teenagers who have everything, and this is opinion. Okay, it's not a fact. And for June 8th, for example, June 8th explains that there are a lot of poor families in supposedly richer countries like the US and the UK. And reports show that education and Health is worse for some children there than in poorer countries, and this is a fact. And for Marion 11, we can say she agrees that teenagers in the Netherlands are happy. She thinks that they are more positive about life than kids in the UK and the US, who feel disappointed that their lives aren't perfect like on television. And this is both facts and opinion. Okay. And for Luke 52, we can say he thinks that young people are healthier now than in the past, as they learn at school about exercise, eating well, and the dangers of smoking. He thinks that the reality is different from that shown in newspapers, and this opinion based on personal experience, my students. Okay. And we can go on exercise 4. What do the underlined words in the text mean? Guess and then check in your dictionary. Okay, let's look to the underlined words. We can start with relationship. Relationship, the way people behave towards and are involved with each other, we can say. Dangers, things that might cause harm or damage. And in Marion 11's article, there is no underlined words. And lucky, yes, we have lucky. That's another underlined word. Good things happen because of chance, we can say. Gadgets, electronic devices like mobile phones or MP3 players. And the last word, underlined word, is care, and it means be interested in. Okay, it's so simple. And these exercises are enough for this article, Happy Teenagers. And now we've finished page 105, my dear students. And now you can go to page 108 and 109. Okay, I'm waiting you. Please open page 108, okay? And we will go there. Wait me. And here we will go with gateway to life skills, okay? Social skills and citizenship, helping a charity. And here we will learn about charities. We will learn about different charities. We will learn to consider different factors when we choose a charity to support. And we will find out about ways of helping a charity. And the key concepts, the key words in our text will be supported charity. You can support a charity by giving them money or helping them to do something. Another keywords, raise money, this phrase we will see. You could raise money for a charity by selling something and giving the money to the charity. And volunteer, they don't pay him for helping the charity. He's a volunteer. Now, here we can start with exercise 1. Okay, my dears, look at the names of the 3 different charities, work with the partner, talk about what you think each charity does. Okay, we have 3 charities. The first one will be Make-A-Wish Foundation. The second one will be PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. And the last charity will be Get Schools. Okay. And now we can talk about what do they do and how they help. Make-A-Wish Foundation helps children make their wishes come true. PETA maybe protects animals. And Get School charity helps children to complete their education. Okay. Now we will see how it's going on. We will start with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now we will listen the aim of these charities. Okay, what do they do? And let's start, and please follow, my dears.
Unit 8. Gateway to Life Skills. Make-A-Wish Foundation. The aim of the charity.
The fundamental objective of the Make-A-Wish Foundation is to make a wish come true for children who are suffering a life-threatening medical condition. This can be an incredibly positive experience for the children and for their families.
What it does.
A volunteer speaks to the child and finds out what their one big wish is. Then, the organisation plans a perfect experience for the child. Sometimes, the wish may be to meet a famous person. Maybe the wish is to go to a place like a zoo or a famous city. Or perhaps the wish is to be a football player, doctor, or police officer for the day. The Make-A-Wish Foundation does what it can to make any dream come true.
PETA. The aim of the charity.
The main objective of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, is to protect animals from cruel and unethical treatment. It is the largest animal rights organization in the world. It has more than 3 million members and supporters.
What it does.
PETA concentrates on 4 main areas. These are areas in which the largest numbers of animals suffer the most. That means in factory farms, in the clothes industry, in laboratories, and in the entertainment industry. It rescues suffering animals, and it educates the public about the cruel treatment of animals. Many celebrities, such as Ryan Gosling, support PETA.
Get schooled. The aim of the charity.
In the US, more and more children are leaving high school before they graduate. This charity began in 2010. Its aim was to motivate students to stay at school, go to classes, and so improve their chances of success in the future.
What it does.
Get Schooled asks celebrities to visit schools and speak to students directly. These celebrities try to motivate them to study hard. Famous people like Nicki Minaj and the members of One Direction explain to young people why it's important to stay at school and go to lessons. The organisation also uses their website to connect with young people through a mixture of games and information. They are there to help students see the importance of studying to create a better life, and to give them help and ideas about how to pay for university.
Yes, my lovely students, we will go back to the questions. We will answer the questions, okay? Exercise 2. Each person should choose a different charity, read the text and make notes about it. And we can start with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, okay? And this charity helps children suffering from medical condition, okay? How the charity helps? It makes the perfect experience by making dreams come true, okay? Any other interesting facts about the Make-A-Wish Foundation? We can say wishes include meeting a famous person, going to the zoo, a famous city, being a doctor, police officer for the day. And when we look at the charity PETA, okay, we can say that it protects animal, okay, and how the charity helps, how PETA helps. It rescues suffering animals and educates the public, okay. Any other interesting facts about this charity? And we can say Ryan Gosling supports PETA, and the last charity was Get Schooled. And how this charity helps, and we can say children that leave school before they graduate, okay, and so it helps to educate children, and it asks celebrities to visit schools and talk to students directly. Any other interesting facts about the Get Schooled charity? One Direction and Nicki Minaj talk to schools, and Get could charity uses the internet to connect with young people, we can say, my dear students. And here we have another exercises about the charities, and we can choose the fifth one. How can you help a charity? Make a list of ideas. We can make a list. Uh, you could try to raise money by selling things. You don't want things and selling them, offering a service. For example, teaching English to young children for donation. You could give some of your money. You could volunteer to work with the charity, for example, talking to lonely old people. We can make this kind of list, okay? And that's enough for the articles. I think now it's understandable. Okay, my students, thank you for today. See you soon.